Welcome back. The program is Not Just a Woman. My name is Rose Okinda. Like I said, we are joined today on set by Michelle Josephine, who is sharing about her life experience, and it seems to be a little bit cramped for somebody who's only 19. There are people who get to be 40 years, over 40 years, but they don't have the experiences that you have experienced. I think you're very brave to even just come here and share.
Thank you.
What course did you choose?
I'm doing journalism and mass media at Moi University main campus in the School of Information Science. My second year right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did you choose journalism and mass media? Why not any other course? Why not, you know, public relations? Or why not become a teacher and do education?
You know, first in high school I wanted to do computer science, and then journalism and mass media was also something I wanted to do. I really loved TV since I was small. You know, all the presenters used to really fascinate me, or when I listened to the radio, they really amazed me, and I always wanted to know how they do it. And then I also love speaking in English. I also really do well in English and all. And my teachers and everybody around used to keep on telling me, Michelle, you can really be a good presenter. Michelle, you can really be a good news anchor and all, you know. So I decided to just go all in and do it because it's also my passion.
Yes.
I love talking to people. I love associating with people. Yeah.
And I love associating with you. So I think you're going to make a great journalist. Life in college. How has that experience been for you? Some people come to university and they flourish and do well. Some people come to university and they lose themselves and they forget why they are there in the first place. How are you faring? I know it's only been first year and second year.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I can even congratulate myself. I'm doing quite well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, university was tough, especially it's in Eldoret. You know, all my life I've been in Nairobi, and I used to perceive as Eldoret as mbali sana, you know.
Yes.
And then I got my letter, and then I'm supposed to come to the main campus in Eldoret, and I'm like, what? How can I even live so far from home, you know? So I came. I met some of my classmates. They were awesome, you know. I got good friends, that I can say that. And then also what also always keeps me going is that my sister, you know, I have to finish for my sister, you know, I can't mess up, you know. And not only for Terry, but my Auntie Dora also, she's the lady I'm living with right now. She also advised us, you know, that time when you're still at home after Form 4, her, and she used to tell me and her daughter is also my age mate. She's also in Moi University, but the Nairobi campus. So she also, you also used to tell us a lot of advice, give us a lot of advice, scold us when we are wrong, you know, tell us we should do this and not this, we should avoid this and do this, you know. Some of those advice are what helped me till today. They really guided me. At least when I came to school, I know what to do and what not to do.
Right.
How to carry myself, how not to carry myself, you know, as a lady, as a firstborn, you know, and as so many eyes on me. I cannot mess up, you know. I have to stay on the lane. I can't mess up.
I think you have said I cannot mess up so many times right now. But do you think that this echoes back to what your mom maybe used to tell you? Because by the time you're losing your mom, you're only 15, but that's a teenager, pretty much a teenager. And mothers tell us a lot of things. There's always that girl talk that your mother will have with you, and maybe she says, Michelle, this is what you have to do. You know, these boys are good, but they're not always good. So you need to watch yourself. What do you think that you can, you know, come back from and tell us that your mother used to say that specifically to you, that is making sense right now in your life as a young woman?
Because the boys were a no-go zone for me. No-go zone. Both my moms, my biological mother and Auntie Sarah, who was later on my mom. Kwanza her, she was no nonsense. When it comes to boys and bad friends and bad choices in life, you die out of viboko if you made a wrong choice. So I really thank them. That time I used to say, oh, nanikazia, sijui it's unfair. I look at other people, they're enjoying themselves, and myself, nimefinywa. But right now, I really appreciate that, because if it was not for those tiny pieces of advice and stern warnings, I wouldn't be where I was right now. Yeah.
When we talk about mass communication, or maybe journalism and mass media, people will always say, I want to make a difference in a particular, a particular area. Some people, if you really want, you're passionate about media, there's something you want to make a difference in. In your mind, as you think about your future, where do you see yourself making a difference? Because there's a lot of areas, there's radio, there's TV, there's print. Where do you see yourself, and in what role do you see yourself making that difference?
I especially want to reach out to orphans, orphans like me and my sister. Most of the orphans are not privileged like me and my sister. We had like my Auntie Sarah, and then when she passed, we had Auntie Dora and Auntie Catherine and Auntie Susan. All three of them helped us, But most of the orphans, especially in this country, you see their parents leave them, and then they're left with nowhere to go, Some drop out from school. Me, I'm privileged to have finished school. My sister is in school. She still has fees for herself, My mom's insurance pays for our school fees.
Right.
Yeah, so I want to make a difference. Maybe I'll start small. But I really want to make a change on how orphans perceive life after their parents leaving them. Some get angry, and some start abusing drugs, They just go out of control. But I really want to show them that you can make it out. When you have such bad experiences and such major losses in your life, you can make it out. It's easy with the right guidance and the right source of strength. That is God. God is always a source of strength, With his that small voice of his that always talks to you in the corner and tells you, keep moving on. You're strong, That voice. And show them and guide them how I did it, Because I'm pretty proud of myself, and I'm so sure where my mom is right now and Auntie Sarah, they can see I'm not the best person in life, but I've done quite well, I'm making them proud, and I always want to make them proud. And so I want to make a change and help other orphans like me and my sister, and show them that you can have someone love you, you can have someone to talk to, even when you feel like your whole world is done. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that there's a poet, she passed on, but her name was Maya Angelou. I don't know if you've heard of Maya Angelou, but she said, as women, and you're a young woman and I can share this with you, we need to know that even by ourselves we are enough.
Yes.
You're enough. You don't need other people's approval. You are enough as you stand and breathe.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that you probably share with your sister, because it's only the two of you. I want to talk about the importance of self-worth and value, because when you don't value yourself and you have no self-worth, that is just the recipe for dysfunctional behavior that you see among a lot of young women. So how do you value yourself?
I love myself. I think it's important to appreciate yourself, and it's important to always look at where you've come from and see enyewe nimetoka mbali. And sometimes it's nice to congratulate yourself. At least it gives you that that morale to go on, because I'm telling myself, hey, I'm from far. Why can't I reach even further,
Yes.
And plus, you have to be strong so that everybody sees you are making it, It's really pointless if you go through hardships in life and then people just look at you and say, huyu kumbe alikuwa jaribu hivi ama jitupe hivi, it's really bad. So you have to appreciate yourself, because you are your most important person, and you are your best critic, and you're the only person who can affect yourself greater than anyone else, So it's really important to see yourself as someone.
Yes.
And also being loved by people around you is very important. one thing I always say to myself is not everyone will love you. It's just human nature, you know. But as long as the people who I value and those people who love me and look up to me, as long as they know what I am doing and how I am, and they know I'm nice, you know, it doesn't matter what other people think, as long as I'm doing me and the people I love look at me as, wow, Michelle is doing it, you know?
True.
Yeah.
True. They say even as we go for our dreams, and you're going for yours right now, it looks like you're just a second year. But tomorrow you'll be calling us and saying, Rose, I am graduating.
Yeah.
And I promise we will come if you invite us.
Aww.
I just want to talk about the need. How do you deal with opposition? Because sometimes there is opposition, sometimes there is rejection. How have you managed to deal with that? Because you come from a very vulnerable background, having lost your parents. How do you deal?
Trust me, rejection, I know it, I can see it and say that is rejection because I have seen it almost a million times, you know. My mom's siblings and family members, you know. When my mom passed, you know, we were only us two. So we used to be referred as hawa watoto. Nani ataishi na hawa watoto? Sijui nani atalinda hawa watoto? And so many people turned their backs against us, me and my sister, and there was nobody. Okay, if it was not for Auntie Sarah, Auntie Dora, Auntie Catherine and Auntie Susan, I can say we'd be nowhere. But I guess you should always just shake it off. You know, you can't force yourself to people. Just shake it off. If things are not working, don't stress on it so much. There's always going to be another door somewhere. Just go to your other option. If you don't have another option, you also yourself, you can do it on your own.
Yes.
And as for me, my sister is my strength, you know, we are two, so at least tunapeana hiyo nguvu. So if Auntie Nani or Uncle Nani rejects us, you always have that strength because I know niko na Terry, at least she'll never bail on me, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I think you have answered partly the question I wanted to ask next, and it was, what grounds you? And I think Terry does a little bit of grounding for you. She grounds you. The fact that she's there, she keeps you focused.
Yeah.
But you've also talked about your faith. So do you think your faith and Terry are some of the things that ground you, your faith in God and your sister?
Yeah.
So that you just don't wake up one day and start smoking opium?
You know, sometimes any God, okay, I'm not that religious, you know, but you know, we were raised on a Christian background, and my mom always used to take us to church, and when I was a little bit older, we used to go and volunteer in church, some DVBS. I go to Sitam in Buruburu. So I really love God and I really respect him, and I really appreciate the fact that he always guides us. There's one verse my mom always used to read for us, that God is the father of the fatherless and the husband to the widows. And that is one thing that always keeps me going until now. Sometimes things are failing, but I tell myself, I won't tense because I mean, I'm royalty, you know?
Yes.
God, he's my father and he's a king, so my dad is a king, so why should I tense? I know something is going to work out. So that's one thing that always keeps me moving. And then my sister, I love her. I cannot tell you with words how much I love her. And I always, when I'm doing some things, I think about her, and if she'd hear that I did that, what would she think, you know? And I'm her elder sister. I also have to set an example. I also have other people looking at me, like my guardian right now, Auntie Dora, you know? She expects certain standards from me because I'm also like her child, you know? So I think those are the things that help me move forward. They help me make my decisions and all. Yeah.
There's a lot of people your age who are 19 or 20, even 21, who fall into peer pressure. I raise this subject not because I think you need a lesson on how to deal with peer pressure, because I think you're doing a fine job on your own. But if you just say something to a young person today who has both parents, is fortunate to have both of their parents, but is being sucked into peer pressure, what would you say to them?
Never do anything that is not comfortable to yourself. You know, when I tell you, let's go out, you know, you should first think, okay, Michelle wants us to go out, so tunaenda wapi? And if you're going there, how would I feel about it? You know, I'm so sure every person growing up, whether or not you have parents, but there are these principles you come pick up along the way, you know. Some things you get taught, others life teaches you, but still, these are the principles that govern you. Those are the most important things. You should always stand on your principles while making decisions. That will help you not sway back and forth with friends, you know. Think about things rationally. Yeah.
All right. And maybe to wrap up, because time is not on our side and we're already done. I know it looks like we just began, but with people who have lost a mother, they have lost a father, or they have lost both, what would you say to them today? Because you have the experience, you have gone through that, you have grieved, and they're probably going through the process of grieving. What would be your word of encouragement to them?
It's never over. As long as you have yourself, it's never over. Jipe moyo, you know, just tell yourself you can do it. Sometimes maybe you don't believe in yourself, but still, I can say jichoche, you know. Jichoche, tell yourself I can do it, and you will make it, you know. Parents are here to guide us and all, but, you know, you're still a person on your own, you know. So you can make it. It's never lost, whether your mom has died, whether your dad, whether you're an orphan, or you've lost someone you love. If you've lost anyone, whether your mom, your dad, you know, your relatives, anyone you love, life is never over, you know. You should always keep on pressing on for yourself, you know. Jipe moyo, jichoche and all, and believe in yourself, because you're the most important person whose opinion matters. Yeah, that's the only thing I can tell them.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It was really nice having you here. I'm hoping that we can be able to probably have another discussion on another platform.
Anytime.
You are a true inspiration.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. The program was Not Just a Woman, and I want to thank you so much for keeping us company. We'll be doing this all over again next week, same time, maybe not the same place, but right here on CMTV. Until next week, it's bye-bye and God bless.